What up, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, I have dedicated my life to discovering and sharing all the secrets when it comes to crowdfunding, really demystifying this entire industry for you. And in today's video, I really wanted to get one of the most key parts of any crowdfunding campaign. Now, I have a lot of different videos out there on my channel, but in today's video, I wanted to talk about email marketing and really what goes behind an effective email marketing campaign. What are some of the secrets which you should be aware of when it comes to email marketing, so that way you can use this channel effectively leading up to the launch of a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo campaign. You can get people backing your campaign immediately, and you can have that funding meter going up and up so you can start actually shooting up in the charts. And it's coming up right after this. All right. I hope that you are having a good week so far when it comes to your goals, your ambition, the way in which you're trying to achieve or impact the world, what you're trying to bring into this world, whether it's raising money for something like a charity fundraiser or a nonprofit, or raising money for a physical gadget or a gizmo or an invention, or even raising money for something more artistic in nature, a band, a music project of some kind, a film, something that's more indie related. I really hope that you're making progress every single week. And if you're not, dude, tune into my podcast, Crowdfunding Demystified, available on Spotify, iTunes, and also I publish a version on this YouTube channel. This is going to just ignite a fire underneath you, hearing other people be successful every single week. And as well, check out some of my other resources there. Email marketing is really one of the most powerful ways to get people to show up to your crowdfunding campaign. However, I see so many mistakes when it comes to coaching students, when it comes to people that are writing in every single week. My email inbox has just been flooded recently with you guys. Like, it's great. My community is growing, but we're getting so many people that are writing in. It's so cool to hear their stories. We're even having people on the podcast who have been successful come back and be on the show. Like, it's been insane when it comes to the CrowdCrux community. But I would say the first thing that I really want to point out in this video is that you have to be aware of how you are gathering and building your email list. I want to talk about that a tiny bit. Once upon a time, I was working on a project. And unfortunately, there was another marketing company on that project that didn't really know what they were doing. And unfortunately, they built up a list for this individual of like 5,000 to 6,000 emails. And they did this with a method which is never a good method to use when it comes to a crowdfunding campaign. They actually announced it, and guess what? They only got like a couple of backers from the 5,000 to 6,000 email list. So that's what I say when it's so important to be aware of who is on that actual email list which you're building. It's more important to be aware of that than any other thing. It's not just about having lots and lots of people or lots of numbers. What's more important is how that list was built, how the quality of that email list, and who's actually on that particular list. So I talk about this in my book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula, and that's the fact that you need to have people that are on that email list who are excited to buy the product. They are aware that you're doing a Kickstarter campaign launch. They're aware you're doing a product launch of some kind. They're finding out where they can actually buy that product. And if you don't do that, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a bunch of lists of people that are just tire kickers. They're not really interested in what you're doing. They're not really interested in actually buying your product. They just joined something for free, for example, for a giveaway, or they just kind of found something interesting online and they just subscribe to it, right? They have no idea of who you are, what your mission is, the actual benefits and features of the product which you're launching or trying to raise money for on Kickstarter. They have no idea of even, the value of Kickstarter and what it is. These are looky-loos, they're tire kickers, they're just kind of getting something for free, they're freeloaders. And unfortunately, if you have just a list of this people, it's very low quality because they're not going to actually back and buy your campaign at the end of the day. So my first best practice when it comes to building an email list is making sure that you have the right people on that list. You put them through the right qualification process, which I talk about in my book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula, and you really make sure that you're hyper aware of the quality of that email list, not just the quantity. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. I actually have a great YouTube video out there going through a tutorial of how to build this email list from scratch or this wait list. And I'll try to link that up down below so you can actually access this. I do talk about this extensively in my book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula, as I mentioned before, but I also have a free video out there on YouTube walking you through how to do this, literally showing you my entire screen step by step in a tutorial fashion. So I'm gonna link that up down below. If you're not aware of how to actually have a quality email list, this video will solve that problem for you. Now, the next major mistake that I see, and I've been seeing this a lot more, is actually someone who is executing the right strategy. They have the right tactics that are in place, or they're even working with a seasoned professional to help them do this. However, they don't have a follow-up. And I understand how difficult it is when it comes to having a follow-through. For example, if you're playing tennis or you're playing golf, it's all in the follow-through. If you don't follow through with the strategy, unfortunately, you're not going to be very successful at any endeavor which you do in life. So this sounds kind of basic, but I'm going to put it out there. The follow-through when it comes to this is just being willing to communicate with those people, with that list which you have built. The worst thing that you can do is to actually do everything right up until the point where you're getting tons and tons of email addresses of quality people. People are opting in like crazy. They're so excited, right? But then you stop sending them emails. And all of a sudden it's like you have this massive dip in their engagement. All of a sudden, no one remembers who you are. They don't remember what they signed up for. They don't remember anything about your product. And you see all of your analytics just kind of going down, 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 down in terms of your engagement, in terms of your open rates, in terms of your click-through rates. It's really something that's not so fun because you did everything right first, but you didn't follow through. So it's so incredibly important in terms of my next best practice, which is to continue to send people emails on a regular basis. You are not going to bother them. Don't be afraid of bothering people. Share engaging, interesting content. Tell them micro stories. Talk about your product and how it's becoming developed, right? There's so much stuff that you can share with your email list. And if you do that, they're gonna remember who you are when you actually come out with this campaign, which is the same goal that everyone is trying to have, which is getting people to show up when they're live with their Kickstarter, Indiegogo campaign, or any other style of crowdfunding campaign. If you accomplish step number 2, you're gonna have something really weird happen. And it's kind of interesting, in my opinion, and it's something that I've been experiencing for my entire professional life, which is that people are kind of gonna view you as like a micro celebrity. It's really weird, but it's really exciting at the same time, where people will hear from you on such a regular basis that it almost becomes something where they get to know you, your story, they get to know your values, your mission, and you will have people writing back and emailing back to you of really cool announcements which you're making. So very important to do step number 2, and it also leads me into the third best practice, which I wanted to mention on this video. So this is more difficult for a lot of people in the audience. And that's because a lot of my followers, a lot of the people that are in this audience are really creative types. You're excited about getting a product out there. And one of the things that's unfortunately one of the most difficult things to do is to analyze the marketing data behind an effective email marketing campaign. So what do I mean by the marketing data? I mean things, for example, like KPIs, key performance indicators, when it comes to your open rate, when it comes to your delivery rate, when it comes to the format which you're actually using to send emails, your click-through rate, what percentage of people are clicking the links which you include in your emails, which percentage of people are responding to your emails, right? What percentage are opening your emails? How do you increase that open rate, right? All these different analytics that happen behind the scenes when it comes to email marketing is going to determine overall how much of your audience is bought in, how much you're actually back your campaign when you go live on Kickstarter, Indiegogo. And it's also going to determine the size and scope of your audience. It doesn't matter if you have an audience of like 10,000 people, if only 5% of them are opening your emails, you don't really have that megaphone which you think you have. You actually have something that's much smaller, and you don't really have the level of influence that you think you have in that case. You have to be aware of your email marketing metrics. This is such a key point. And this is actually one of the reasons why I love using different easy tools to actually analyze this. So for example, Aweber is a great email marketing and email software tool which you can use to actually analyze the open rates, the click-through rates. And it's a lot easier than some of the more complicated tools out there like Infusionsoft, for example. So I'm going to include a tutorial down below with Aweber. If you really want to learn how to do email marketing right, I have a great tutorial out there when it comes to Aweber, which is free up until 500 subscribers when it comes to building a new email list. The last point that I want to mention on this video is actually more creative in nature. And this is something that I feel a lot of creators will struggle with, which is the fact that you can have great email marketing metrics and you can gather the list in the right way and you can be doing the things right that we talk about. However, It's so incredibly important to have people be emotionally excited when they show up at the campaign. So this is really about the realm of emotion, which comes down to creativity. How do you get people to be hanging on your every word? How do you make it so that they're so excited about this campaign coming out that they're literally so excited that this is like the best thing since sliced bread? Or for example, like your new brand, your like Apple products, right? You're coming with a new product and people are just lining out along the block. They're waiting to actually enter that Apple store. Or if you're coming out with a new shoe brand or something like that, right? People are just waiting in droves to get into that store. That to me is kind of the art when it comes to email marketing. And unfortunately, it kind of goes beyond the scope of this video to explain that, but I would say that if you had to put a score or a ranking when it comes to your audience, the more emails you send them, you should be slowly raising that excitement meter so that way, when they actually show up at the campaign, they are taking action and they're kind of fulfilling that emotion that has been pent up leading up to the launch of that campaign. If you want to learn more about email marketing beyond the 2 resources which I mentioned in this video, and you really want to get a clear-cut understanding of the game plan which you need when it comes to your Kickstarter campaign, your Indiegogo campaign, the paint by numbers formula behind that, how to smash through your campaign goal, how to raise 10 times more than your actual funding goal on Kickstarter, I have a great option out there for those of you who really want to get more personalized attention and who are serious about this. So what you can do right now is you can go to the link down below and you can book an individual one-on-one intensive coaching call with me. So when you do that, all you have to do is you have to fill out a little bit of information about you, about your story, about what you're trying to do, your product. Tell me as much information as possible so that I can be extremely helpful when it comes to your launch. So if you go down below, you click that link at crowdcrux.com/coaching, you can book that intensive coaching call with me ASAP, and we can make sure that you're going into this campaign with the right strategy, that you're using the right tactics, and even a minor adjustment can literally result in thousands of dollars when it comes to success on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Lastly, when it comes to this, there's that kind of like saying that you don't know what you don't know. And unfortunately, that is true when it comes to crowdfunding. You just don't know what's around the next bend, honestly. So what I can do is provide tremendous clarity for you on different missing pieces of the puzzle. And that way you launch with confidence and you go into this campaign armed with the tools that are designed to help you be successful and achieve that result which you're looking for. All right, man, I hope this actually got you more excited to learn more. And you do dive into some of my other videos out there on YouTube and to begin to explore these different topics when it comes to setting up landing pages or email marketing or how to analyze metrics. I have great videos out there on all that. So I really hope that this kind of just whets your appetite. And this isn't just a singular video you watch on YouTube, but you really go through that wormhole and are like, gosh, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to become a student of success, a student of crowdfunding. So that way I can impact the world. I can raise more funding for my inventions, my products. I can get new things out there. And also I can build a brand from scratch. So I hope that you go and do that after watching this video. But lastly, if you really want to become a part of the community, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you receive notifications when I put out new videos every single week, because I'm telling you, I am bringing crowdfunding gold to you, man. I'm literally bringing nuggets of gold which are embedded in these videos with little tip, little trick here. You can employ that in your campaign. I'm telling you, it's gonna make a massive difference when you go live with your project. If you do nothing else, make me happy and take some action this week. Thank you again. My name is Salvador Briggman. This is the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel, and I will see you next time.